Hey, this is Michelle Kapaska, and welcome to my Fearless Innovator podcast. Thank you for joining me today. My hope is to inspire, educate, and entertain you. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Fearless Innovator podcast. My name is Michelle, and I'm your host. Today, I'm going to review several ways that you can invest in real estate. But first, I want you to know that investing in real estate is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It does take loads of time and financial education and constant learning to stay on top of the changes and all the pivoting going on in the market today. I will cover note buying, private lending, rental, flipping, and short-term rentals. Here are a couple things to consider. What is your age? I've had several retirement age people ask me this very question. Hey, I'm getting ready to retire and I want to invest in real estate. What should I do? Of course, I'd have to dig into their specific situation, but on the surface, starting to invest in real estate at retirement, right after you've quit your job or you've closed down your business and you're intending on living off of Social Security, this would be a disaster situation. However, I'm sure there may be some of you who have built up your nest egg. In that case, it may be plausible for someone to invest in real estate, specifically if they do not intend on living off of their nest egg while it works for you. If you fall into this category, then perhaps you invest in something like note buying or private lending, if you're looking for a return on your money and you can sit back and watch it grow. If you have money sitting in an old IRA that's not doing well, you may consider moving it into a self-directed IRA and putting it to work by buying real estate or partnering with an investor that would offer you a decent return on your money. There are qualified note buyers in the market, so just do your homework before partnering, or your homework if you seek to do this on your own. Private lending is also a viable option. This is where you can lend your money to another investor to partner on a short-term deal, which is less than 1 year, or a long-term deal that may have higher yields. You can do this inside of a self-directed IRA or money that you have in an underperforming savings account that you're probably getting less than 1% on. The interest rates will vary on the real estate transaction, and there are always people looking to find individuals that have money sitting around doing nothing but gaining 1% on their money. Here's another warning. There are risks involved in both of these transactions, so be sure to use a seasoned real estate attorney to secure your position and your holdings. That leads me to risk tolerance. What's your risk tolerance? If you have a high tolerance and you want to be involved in the process, in other words, you want a job, perhaps flipping is a good mechanism for you. Why is flipping high risk? Several reasons. One, the purchase of the home is where you make your money. If you buy this home too high, you've already lost the game. How you purchase a home at the right price is another episode, but typically a great deal can be made when negotiating with the seller directly. Two, budget. Determine what your budget for the rehab project is before you purchase the home. It's best to bring your contractor to the home prior to the purchase to determine all the costs. There is such a thing as scope creep. That's a project management term, which means you've budgeted for the 6-foot panel closet door, but decided you liked the look of the new sliding barn doors because you think the house will sell for much more. Not so much. 3 is timeline. If you just borrowed hard money with 4 points at 10% interest, you are now paying a lot of money on a monthly basis to borrow this money. The name of this game is get in, get it done, and get out in the least amount of time possible. Why? You are now paying a high monthly mortgage payment. You're paying insurance costs and property taxes, which are all considered holding costs. People forget about these costs. Oh, and let's not forget how fluid the real estate market can be. Let's just say you entered into this flip. The market was moving along great, but then 4 months later, the market starts to soften. And now you thought you were going to sell at 185,000, just became 165,000. And there goes your profit. Another option is passive income. Do you want to earn passive income while you're still working? Passive income is the income that requires minimal labor to earn and maintain. That can equate to rental properties. There are other options, but this is the one you can relate the most to. Why do you want passive income? Why? There's great reasons. 1, your renter pays off the good debt, which is your mortgage. 2, you're taxed at a lower rate on the income taxes. 3, depending on your lifestyle, you could determine how many rentals it would take to get you out of the rat race, which means you could quit your job. And 4 is appreciation. While your renter is paying your rental payments, your house is appreciating over time. Another passive income idea are short-term rentals. The income you receive monthly is considered passive. Perhaps you have an extra room to rent. Great. There's a little work required to get the room furnished and then set up on your choice of short-term rental platforms. And if you use a service, there's little to no work on your part, but collecting a paycheck. You can even have a short-term rental out of state. I did this in Gatlinburg, Tennessee from Florida. I did have a few hiccups in the beginning, but then I got them all ironed out. So then you want to determine how much money would you be willing to invest? Warning. Do not use your nest egg to begin investing. I can't say this enough. I had a small amount of money sitting in a self-directed IRA, and I thought for sure I'd have a hard time finding anyone that was willing to take such a small amount. I was wrong. I found a guy in my network that's using my money towards expenses on a flip, and he's giving me a great return on my money. Even better, he's going to continue to use my money for the next 5 years. When it's due, he puts my initial investment plus the interest back into my retirement account. I'm 57 now, so in 5 years, I'm closer to retirement, and maybe then I'll take it out and use it. But for now, it's baking. I've just covered the surface on ways to invest in real estate. It's clearly up to you how much work you want to put into it, how much you have to invest, and what your risk tolerances are. In the end, you weigh your options and then dive in. Thank you for listening. I hope you were inspired, entertained, or you learned something new. While I'm on my 3-month adventure in my RV, I'm out riding around my home state of Iowa looking at Freedom Rocks. But my real estate business is on autopilot and I'm producing income. If you want to know how, reach out to me at fearlessinnovator.com. Or you can now listen to me on the Fearless Innovator podcast. I can be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Catch me later. Thank you for listening today. I hope you enjoyed the show. If I can help you invest in your future, reach out to me at fearlessinnovator.com. Catch me later.